It's Monday. This is your girl Candy K. Lynn, and I got my friends with me today. We are back for another episode here at Situationship Talk. And today we are talking about why did I get married? I anticipated to have the people who had already made that dumb decision before on the show, but they're not here today. So it's us. Single people. Why did I get married? So that's our conversation. If you are married, looking to get married, newly engaged, this is a conversation for you. We would love for you to chime in, send us your questions, your thoughts, share with us what you think. So, AM, why did I get married? So, I'm going to before I go into that, right? There was something that JT posted on his Facebook page the other day. There was a conversation, and this goes into the why did I get married? The way we look at stuff as people. Send us your question. Oh, the way we look at stuff as people. So JT had posted that there was a young lady that told the young man that she was waiting to give up her private parts to him. She wasn't going to share her private parts with him until she was married. Okay. So he told her he wasn't going to share his money with her. He was going to save his money for his future wife. And women were in an uproar. And so JT was like, he didn't see the problem with it. I thought it was a very powerful question. Y'all forgive me. I got to get comfortable. I felt like it was a very powerful question because that is a great point. If a woman says she doesn't want to share her goodies with you, AM, and you tell her, let's go Dutch until we evolve to that part of the relationship, is there something wrong with that?
Yes. If that wasn't your intentions prior to her saying that, then you're just saying that you're not gonna give her money because she's not giving you sex. I mean, you basically feel like you're paying for sex before that, and then because you're not going to get the sex, you're not going to buy things or do things for her. So yeah, I think that's pretty fucked up. Now it was already their plan. That's cool, but to just say that because she said that is kind of low. It's kind of low.
I never done Dutching before. So, me paying for stuff like that, I don't know. I look at that as an investment.
So you're investing into your future wife.
Right.
I actually felt like it was a great idea. If she's saving her goodies for her husband, which I think, that's your thing. You should. Yeah. Realistically, if this is not somebody that he's looking to marry, what kind of financial position could men be in if they actually save their finances for their future wife? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's not bad.
When we look at it from a holistic standpoint, I would prefer my future husband save his money for me. Don't be tricking it in the club and on Sheila and Jane and Mary and Susanna. So I think it was smart for that man because you're saving yourself, he's saving himself.
I mean, I guess only if he expecting her to do the same. Like, I mean, he can't ever expect for her to pay certain things for him. Like, it got to be completely even down the line with that then.
Until they get married, right?
Yeah, until they get married. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that sometimes as women, we have to kind of watch what we say, right? Because you're saying you want to be treated a certain way. You're saying you expect certain things in return, but there's no give or take. So you can't expect to not give anything and expect everybody else to give something. Go ahead, last page.
I mean, to me, it's just how demanding women can be when it comes to certain things. You gonna do this, and I'm not gonna do that, and I'm not fit to deal with that, but you gonna do this, and if you don't like it, then you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then maybe men need to find some demands. Like, is it really a woman's fault that you don't have any demands?
I mean, it's not necessarily the woman's fault. I mean, I know I come in with demands. I don't take no shit. So I don't know. Everybody different. You got some dudes, they would just sit there and take it or not say nothing and allow that woman to say or do whatever they want to do to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like when women do that, it's a way you say it because you do have to tell people what you accept and what you don't accept. And I understand sometimes it's the way it's said, but a lot of times, like, when she telling you that, if you don't like what she's saying, no matter how she say it, stop talking to her, because that's how she is. Someone gonna put up with it, but if it's not for you, you gotta dip. And if it is for you, hit her with what you feel like, what you want as well, because I mean that's how a relationship works. You have to see what each other want and need and try to fulfill that for that person.
But isn't that fair? Right? If she, because I think sometimes that men get mad about women's expectations because men fail to plan. Some men fail to set goals, expectations, their desires, to know what they want, to know how they want things done, to understand what it is that they need to survive. So if I come in with a bucket list, this long, and this is like, I need this, I need this, I need this, and you know that you're not able to fulfill 5 out of the 25 things on the list. You see the first 5, you look down the rest of the list, like, or she's saying something, you're like, I can't. When do we go ahead and be honest with ourselves and tap out? Like, I think that's another thing that we do wrong as people.
I mean, or just be realistic about things. You know what I'm saying? Women want the dude that's in a fairy tale book. You know what I mean? She want them type of dudes. I want them strong with a strong back. I want them lift me up. She could be like 450 pounds and stuff. She want to lift her up and cradle her like a baby. Oh, you can't do that.
I am dead.
But if that's what she needs, right? And this is what we go back to. That's what she needs, and you say a fairy tale. I think it's unfair to decide what's unrealistic for someone else.
But he's not lying. There are some things that are unrealistic in a lot of women's needs lists. It's a lot of things.
Besides picking her up at 400 pounds, I think that's a little unrealistic. Give me some other stuff that's unrealistic.
Unless you're a Jamaican or an African, because them jokers strong. They lift them up for fun. So
I mean, I done met some dudes that wasn't but about $180 and can do some things, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay, what was the initial question?
What are these other things that are unrealistic expectations?
I think women have like unrealistic expectations in regards to men looks just as much as when men have on women looks. The only difference is that women is more of a height thing, and more of like he has to have like it's things like height. Like I feel like that's one of the things that is not that big of a deal.
Do you feel like height is unrealistic?
I feel like at times it is, depending on how tall or short you are. I think it is.
They put stipulations on height.
On height, they put what I'm saying is on their knees. That's on their knees.
What else? I'm writing down this list.
Like you can't if you shorter than 6 feet. If you ain't 6 feet and up, then you're not considered a king. Like just stupid stuff
before
like
I can
that.
respond, I need the list. Before I can respond, I need the list.
Let me see. Let me think. I'm trying to think of things that I've heard. I know height is definitely. I guess like, you know what? I was gonna say style and dress, but
okay.
I would say somewhat. I think women take more of a that is more on their list than me. And me will be like she got to wear certain things. So I'm gonna say style.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, even their hair. Some women won't date a dude. They got like certain hairstyles. Be like, I can't date a dude with locks.
Or I can't date. Or they be like, I can't date a dude with 360 waves. They all hoes.
Okay. So y'all only got 3 things on your list. Come on, we got to get to 5. 5 before I can count.
Okay. Let me think. I gotta think because the things that.
Okay, the fact that they made fun of Nelly. The fact that they made his size. Yeah, they got down on Nelly, man. Yeah. They got down on that.
Okay, and what else? I need one more. I need to make this make sense. One more. What is unrealistic?
You know what?
I don't date women, so tell me what's unrealistic.
It's only for certain women, but you having kids, but talking about you need a man that don't have kids. That's weird.
Yeah,
There are women
ain't
that do
that
that.
weird? That's
They will
really
be like,
weird, right?
and I'd be like, but
You got like 8 kids and you want somebody with none? What?
Okay.
Make
Okay,
it
so
make
I agree with
sense.
y'all on the last one. Of all y'all things on
okay.
y'all list, the last one is the only thing I agree with y'all on. Everything
But
else,
you see,
I feel like it's not unrealistic. It's not a fairy tale. I thought y'all were gonna be like made six figures.
He right. He gotta have money, of course.
I mean, but
I
of
need
course,
Gucci, Louis. You know, you
what's
got
wrong?
them
I mean, I
chicks.
don't think it's unrealistic. It's
that
not unrealistic
no,
to have a
I
man that's 6 foot tall. I don't date dudes with dreads. I don't do the dread thing. Ain't my style. There's a lot of technicalities. I don't do under 5'10".
we just hear what I'm saying. Y'all women have a lot of stipulations with talking to them when guys don't. And
But
again, yeah, go ahead.
but you have a lot of guys that have a lot of stipulations on women as well. So you got a lot of the ugly ones, you know, with money, they like to be unrealistic when it come to women. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they go for them Kardashian type of chicks. They not really looking for the sisters like that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree,
But I think
but
that's fine. I think it's fine for us to have our types, right? So when we're looking at marriage, I think it's fine to have types. Nelly, I don't think Nelly was like, I don't think Nelly was bad, but in reality,
the way
I
you
mean,
said that,
if they
my
could
thing
all
is,
just like
but
whip
it
it
be on
out
y'all
before I
list.
got with them, like whip it out, it would be easier to cross people out.
See what I'm saying? That's the thing. That actually become people list.
Well,
That's a real thing. People
so
list.
here's the thing, right? So Facebook is probably gonna block this episode, so I'm glad we got to say. But if
Why?
I'm trying to make it keep it clean, if you are
Mm.
a person who enjoys intimacy to a certain level,
Mm.
and you've seen what it is that you're capable of, and how far you can go, that stuff kind of matters because Nelly was average. I'm use Charlemagne's. I mean words. He was about a 6 incher, so I guess he was average.
Charlamagne said that.
He said that his wife, he used to cheat on his wife, and in the process of cheating on her, he later realized that the dude that she was cheating with was bigger than him. That he was like a little less than average. So I would give Nelly average.
Ooh.
I would give him average. Um, but yeah, Nelly was already a no for me because he was too short. I think he's
See what I'm
handsome.
saying?
I
The
think he's
too
handsome.
short thing.
See?
The too short
He's
thing.
handsome. Oh yeah, Nelly, T.I., I would like literally walk past them in the street. It wouldn't be
But
nothing
look,
that gets
Catherine, you're
towards
not
brothers.
tall, sweetheart. You're
Yeah,
not
but they're
Man,
short.
tall.
I
But they're little.
saw a couple. Me and my friend, we had went to breakfast, and I saw a couple. Dude looked like he was every bit of like 5'1", and the chick that came out, I mean, she was like three of him. Like literally, I was like, "What?" You know what I'm saying? Like she like up here, and I'm like, "Hey, you know, if it work, it work." You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of
Yeah,
odd couples out there, you know.
And I'm not like little. I'm not like
you 5.
5'4", 11,
How tall are you? How
like
tall are you?
5'3".
That's
Oh yeah,
short.
yeah, you
I'm a little
short.
shorter than normal, but I'm not like a small person. Like
You're boy. You're like you with some without some shoes with some real flat day. You pushing it.
I'm good height, but I don't date. I don't like. I've never liked men that are 5'6" or less. I'll be like, where you going, sir? Please,
I mean,
I
the
mean,
reason
but it's still
please.
taller than you though.
Not my thing. Not my thing.
still taller than you.
Bright
Still
skinned
taller than
men.
you,
See,
and
that's
he's
also a thing.
Not my
Colorism.
thing. Yeah,
How are
not
we
my
black
thing.
people and have a thing about colorism? I'm gonna. I was bad about that. I realized that is like so petty. Like
But
that is like so low.
for me, it
Like,
ain't nothing better than a
but you
black
know
man,
what?
like
But you want to know?
chocolate.
but
You want to
a
know
light skinned
something?
man is black.
You want to know something though? Dark skinned women, they be mean to me. It's always the light skinned women that they always talk to me. If the dark skinned women, they be mean all the time.
I just think we have our preference. I think we are sometimes having these conversations as adults, which I think are good conversations, and it is It is because we see the world differently, but it's what we like. It's what you saw the first time. You were like, man, that's he good looking, he fine, like that's my lane. You know, we just
Yeah, but you know nothing about that person. I think when you look at it's like buying a car. That hoe could look nice outside.
Of course.
That hoe could be like fire. Underneath that engine is garbage, inside is trash.
Right.
It got some leftover luggage.
So that's why we talk about marriage. It's one thing to sleep with somebody who looks good on the outside. You can block them. It's another thing to marry somebody who can't even speak English and they black. So there's levels to this, and that's why I'm like, with this whole marriage thing, I agree with you. There are some people that are trash. I think if we're all honest, I know I've dated some people that I would have never married. Oh, I didn't. So there's levels to who you're willing.
Y'all been engaged, haven't you? Both of you have been engaged to people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got women that like remedial dudes too. I don't know why.
Well, probably because they a little remedial, and you just missed out on the fact that she was remedial. Because that's what I'm learning. Because I'm learning, like, there are some people that I'm looking at them like, you know, she talk backwards.
I don't know.
I say some women want somebody that's remedial because they can control them, and vice versa. You be seeing a dude be with somebody that real slow because they can control them, and a woman be with somebody that be like what? Because she bossed them around.
I don't have that kind of time. I don't have
people do. You'd be surprised.
And it's funny we're talking about this. My sister and I were talking about this today. Like, I need my kids to have a chance of graduating from college. Okay, I don't need my kids dropping out of high school because I married their daddy who dropped out in modern day times in 8th grade. I just don't, me personally,
not 8th grade.
I just don't have time for
no,
it.
Not modern day times.
I don't have time for it. Like back in the day, you know, if I was born in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, I've even learned in the 60s and 70s that people couldn't read. 70s. You know, yeah. I've learned that people still couldn't read. So it would have been a little different. But now modern day time, sir.
Brother, you graduate from high school? That couldn't read in 60s and 70s still can't read.
I don't know. And see, I didn't grow up like that. So I don't know people who can't read.
I mean, I personally don't know anyone that can't read. But as there's someone probably in my city, my hometown, probably. It's probably a few people.
I mean, you got hood dudes. I know hood dudes, and the way they read, everything is like spaced out. And she told him to go.
Oh, they be selling this. They be selling that shit out.
Yeah. They wanted them. Yeah. Well, I got one homeboy. All he do is talking to the into the text. He never texts. All he do is talking to it. He never texts ever.
So I want to go back to y'all's unrealistic expectations. Is it unrealistic to ask for somebody who has a high school diploma?
No, that's why they named it. What I'm saying is unrealistic means things that in the long run don't really fucking matter. Like looks are one of those things that really in the long run don't really fucking matter.
But if you're gonna have kids, looks matter. If you're gonna have kids and you're trying to breed
surprised.
thoroughbred athletes,
it be having some ugly ass babies together.
And some of the ugliest people be having some beautiful
babies. Yes. Beautiful I've seen that. I be like, who y'all this y'all baby? Like thinking maybe it's not his, or maybe it wasn't hers or something. It be theirs, and it be like, you know, this. Yeah, y'all got a baby. Like,
I'm gonna have to pass for 100.
You might have ugly kids, Candy. You know, so you never know.
Never know.
You know,
my kids look like me. My genes are pretty strong.
But my thing is,
my genes are strong.
Your view of beautiful and someone else's could be completely different.
It is, but our DNA has to connect, right? So I also look at people's mama. I look at your sister, your brother. Like I look at your family too. Like there are some people that you meet, they family be like, everybody ugly. Right. That matters. You're gonna have an ugly, like your probability decreases.
Everyone have ugly people in their family. I have never seen a beautiful entire family.
It ain't many ugly people.
My grandma used to say all the time her grandkids was beautiful. So some people do. But you got to look at them people and you got to be like, my grandma used to say, you look out for your offspring.
You're not all the way wrong. I've definitely seen some ugly families. Like,
And then
it
you
be
meet
like,
their friend, family, and everybody a little slow. So I just want people to start, before you start marrying people, you need to be like, okay. You know, and then everybody who little. That's another thing. I'm not very tall. I got my mama's genetics with height. Okay. I am the smallest person in my father's family. The shortest. The children is taller than me. Okay.
and you really think that your genes are not gonna make your kids be kind of short no matter what?
I mean,
No, because
I'm
sometimes
5'11".
genetics kick back to previous.
gonna
So
hope.
maybe my daddy's height
gonna
will
hope.
kick in.
I'm
And that's why I'm
5'11"
marrying a
and
tall
I'm
man.
the
I'm trying to
shortest.
breed thoroughbreds. What'd you
But
say?
what does his family look like?
Oh,
No,
my
I
dad.
was saying, oh my bad. Go.
My
My
cousins
bad.
are 6 footers. I got female cousins. My grandma was 6 foot. Yeah. So the women, my dad's family, I'm just the shortest person. My sister is average height. My brother is average height. So you go get with a thoroughbred and you can breed some thoroughbreds. I need my kids to be athletic. There's a reason you want a tall man and a strong man. Go ahead, last page.
No, I was saying I'm 5'11". I'm the shortest out of all the men, but my mama's short. My dad tall and my mama's short, so it was like I kind of got in between with that. You know, everybody else they over 6 feet. I'm mad. I'm mad.
I'm just hoping my niece got some of her mama not little, so maybe she gonna get some of that balance. And I gotta pray for my kids. We gotta get some height. So to me, you look at all of these factors when you're looking at marriage, right? I hear people say size doesn't matter. How satisfied are you going to be with someone who cannot give you what you want long term?
I mean, if y'all love each other, you got toys, y'all got the rolls, y'all got all kind of stuff, man. Y'all got one of them
There's
automatic,
an extender.
them
There's
automatic
an extender you can put on.
them
There's an extender
automatic
you can put on.
robotic joints. They be like this. All you gotta do is just assume position and it tear you up. Tear you up.
What about people who need human contact?
I mean, you'll still get human contact. You know what I mean? Whatever.
I mean,
you
if
like,
he's there,
whatever,
he's playing along with you,
right.
you'll
If
get
he playing,
contact.
you're getting human. You're getting the contact. It's like you got to think outside the box, baby. We gonna make it work. You know what I'm
I
saying?
just think y'all just decided that women need a broke, short man with
No
a little,
one said
with
none,
a little,
no one mentioned
with a
that.
little,
No one
with,
mentioned
with a
money.
little.
No one
Ain't
mentioned money.
nobody mentioned money.
No one mentioned money. I said realistic expectation things you
And
can
18
have forever
kids.
that's gonna last.
And 18
Like
kids.
18 kids.
no, I just said you can't say
No.
no kids. If you have kids, you can't ever tell a man he can't have no kids.
But if
Now,
you
if
got
you
8
ain't
kids,
got-
do you want some more?
But that's your fault. Who you think want to be with you with 8 kids and they ain't got no kids?
I mean, I agree with you on that. I agree with you.
That's a
on that.
lot of kids. Now,
She
granted,
might
there
as well
are
be
may be
mad
some
at the world.
guys.
She might as well be mad at the
No,
world.
it's some guys that
Shit.
will be like, it's okay, it's cool. It's some
They need
guys out here that really don't
Till
care.
he get tired.
They need a place to stay, probably.
Mhm.
Because a lot of them ones like that, I've seen them. They need a place to stay, and they're great babysitters, and they clean up the house and cook and.
Well,
and
hey,
all
I
of that.
mean, that's cool.
Yeah, but
As
also
long as
people
you
need to
ain't
stop
cheating.
trusting, and they need to stop trusting these people with their kids.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
whole nother conversation that I can
But
get
they
into.
tired. They tired of them kids. At this
I
point, they
mean,
don't
yeah,
care.
they are. They
They
are
don't
tired.
care.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
do
but
want
they
your
gotta do
kids
better.
alive.
Yeah,
But you
you
do
want
want
them
your
alive.
kids alive.
You don't want your
Absolutely.
kid in the
Or traumatized.
and I've seen them in the oven from the boyfriends. I've seen stories where they were in the dryer because of the boyfriend, where they're buried in the house for a year because the boyfriend killed them. So I just want people to be realistic. Even when you get these people that people told you don't have no standards, and then you got a bum living with you.
But we said unrealistic standards.
I mean, yeah, because y'all
and-
told her don't ask for a man who had money. So then she decided to
No,
settle
I
on a man who didn't have
Stop
No,
saying that.
no,
Neither one
not
of
at
us
all.
said
You
that.
lying.
Stop saying that. We
Lying.
never said ask somebody for no money. They can have
Over
somebody
here
with money,
lying.
but you can have somebody with money. That is perfectly fine. But don't be saying he got to be sick, because the crazy thing is, most men that have money are not tall.
They short.
Why are you playing? Most people no, unless they're like playing a sport or they're doing something like that. Most men are average height. They're like short. They're average people and have money. And one be like, I don't want him because he's short.
I don't know those men. I'm glad they passed me by. I'm glad Mr.
No,
Five.
you weren't looking
Mr.
at
Five,
him.
you're
Why?
right.
Because
I
you
looked
want
over
to
his
talk.
head.
Yep.
I
Yep.
looked over his head. I said,
Yep.
"Oh, it's sunny outside today." I never saw him coming.
Yep.
I
See?
literally like passed. I think 5'8" may be the shortest, but
I mean that's 4 inches taller than what you is. He probably sit over your head.
he see
Then
right over my head. He see right over the
yeah.
top of my head. That's as short as I can go. When y'all start talking about 5'6", 5'5", I just can't take you serious.
That's me.
I can't take you serious. But there's somebody for everybody.
I like
He's
tall women.
probably not for me.
I like tall women, so
See?
I'm always shooting for the tall women. I like a
Like,
challenge.
nigga, you are 5'11".
Yeah, I know, but I like them
So
tall.
you tall. You
Yeah,
tall.
but the ones I be getting, they be the same height as me or taller. They be like over 6 feet tall.
Bro, saying if a shorter woman approached you and she was bad, you wouldn't talk to her because she was
Oh,
short.
of course.
Right.
How
Ken
is
would
a
not talk to no short
how is
dude
a
if he walked
5'6"
into him, she
man
fine.
bad? How is he bad? He
He
can't
don't
weigh
Nigga,
that much because
man,
he ain't that tall.
6 figures is 6 foot.
He can't weigh that much. He
You said
ain't
he
built
can't weigh
like
that
nothing.
much.
I mean, at
You don't know what that
5'6",
man built like. You don't know what
at
that man
I
built
mean,
like.
how is he gonna be built at 5'6"?
He could be buff.
He could
You
be,
don't
yeah.
know.
I know
Could be
little,
buff.
I know little short, little
I know little
swole,
buff. Yeah, I know
little
plenty of little
swole car
short buff
diesel
niggas. Yeah.
dudes.
But he don't got no neck.
Running backs are short, little, thick ass niggas. Let's be real, and most of them
They
about
are.
5'5", 5'6".
Yeah.
No, they're a little taller than that. Adrian Peters, they 5'7",
Some of
5'8",
them be
and
They're
in
Yeah.
getting they're getting taller, but let's
They
be
be
real. Back
about
in the day,
they be
they were
about
not
5'9" at the
yeah,
most.
they're not. When you stand next to a professional athlete, you'll realize, unless his name is Muggsy Bogues or Spud Webb, they're not that small. Steph Curry, like standing next to you, they're not as small as people want to believe that
I
they
don't know, Steph
are.
Curry like 6'2".
But
Yeah, and I wouldn't.
I mean, yeah,
Spud
but-
Webb was a big dog, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
So,
he's little. He's
little. Yeah,
he's
he was a
little.
big dog. Though.
Muggsy is little, and I would be like, "Hi, Muggsy, you were my
but
favorite
you
back
just
in
said
the
you
day."
wouldn't talk to no dude that was under 5. You said we were talking, what is really your height limit?
I prefer my men 6 foot tall. Like
So you still not dating no running back. You
I-
still ain't no running back.
6 foot tall minimum.
You said-
So a running back, I ain't seen him. Zeke don't look good to me. Ain't my level. That's not my thing. Like
But that man is a millionaire.
he
And you ain't
is.
gonna talk to that nigga because he's short. But he
he's
buff.
not-
But he is buff. You talking
but-
about then you said
Okay,
them
he's
okay,
not
yeah.
not
So-
my level.
So he could say a dude come up to you and he's short, you know what I'm saying, good looking, you know what I mean? He got money, but you don't even know. You don't even know he got money in the bank. You gonna turn him
Right.
down?
Yep, because she's shallow. Shallow.
He gonna walk
She's
up in
shallow
that
with you.
Bentley. He gonna walk
Shallow.
up in that Bentley. She gonna be like, wait, hold on, wait.
No, she not, because she's shallow. You don't understand? She is shallow leader.
Damn.
She is not gonna get off of it.
I bend as I got older. I did bend. So in my personal life, there is like one characteristic that I said, okay, I did, but just one.
What did you bend on? What did you bend
I
on?
did.
What-
I bent on size on weight, like weight, because I got so fat that I was like, I can't have a weight limit on people no more. Like
I think
What the
weight.
hell?
I don't think weight is
Wow.
one of those things. Weight not one of those things I ever put a limit on. Like
am I really that
ranges.
shallow?
Yes, it ranges. The thing is, like, my thing is, this is gonna sound bad. Some of the bigger women that hit on me aren't cute. So a lot of them will assume that it's about their size when it's really about your face. So it's like I would talk to a bigger girl. It doesn't matter what your size is. You just gotta be cute in the face. You just really gotta be cute. That's about it.
It'd be the face for me.
It be the face. It really do. You gotta be cute without
So
makeup.
I
makeup
did.
tonight.
I did
And
make
without
a
hair.
adjustment.
Hey,
I grew from
Yeah.
Mr. 6 figures, 6'6", 225 to 30 pounds. 45 you was getting is the maximum. I have evolved.
Age ain't bad. Age limit ain't bad. Age limit ain't bad.
I've evolved because I only wanted them 6'6" for a long time.
6'6" what?
6'6" in height, blue black, 215 to 230 pounds. Lord.
See, that's what it is. Women be trying to build their perfect nigga. I'm gonna find this perfect nigga that I done built on this piece of paper.
Is it unrealistic?
That I built. Yes.
Is it unrealistic
Yes.
if you've had it?
If unrealistic
but they're not your person because you ain't with them.
If unrealistic was a
just
person,
because it's your type,
it'd be candy. It'd be candy if unrealistic.
I'll be unrealistic. I'll be that.
Dead ass.
But I'm being honest about who I am.
She describing Matumbo over here.
Not in my house.
No, looking ass.
You describing Matumbo ass nigga. I wanted to
more like Kevin Garnett, like 6'9".
No, when you said blue black, that is fucking Matumbo.
Blue black, not Matumbo. You know, he got a little too much.
What
going on?
Because you shallow. You shallow as hell. You describe, he had everything you described, but like, no, but you ugly.
Yeah, but I have evolved. Like, right? I have evolved. Like, I remember just a quick story before we get out of here. I remember when I was in college, like my freshman year, we were having a conversation. I was talking about my future wedding, right? So I wanted this dramatic wedding that was going to cost, probably about $100,000.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Listen, it was going to cost about $100,000, and I wanted all my bridesmaids to be about a size 12. And I was having this conversation in class, and this girl was like, a size 12? Who gonna be in your wedding? And so we went back and forth with that, and we laughed for years, my line sister, Kawana. And I just look back now, and I'm like, that was kind of petty. Because I was really serious. I was like, I ain't going to have no fat bridesmaids. And God made sure that I got fat so that, I either got to lose the weight or I can't discriminate against my bridesmaids. So I have grown. Now I just wouldn't have a wedding.
I ain't gonna lie though, I'm for real on that. I feel the same way. Now I don't want to have a wedding. Or like I don't want to have a wedding. I feel like that's a waste of money.
Okay, so let's keep going. Why not? I would like to know.
It's a waste of money.
So what you prefer? You prefer a courthouse?
Courthouse, definitely courthouse, and then like a bomb ass just reception. Like it's a cool little reception, and that's it.
I feel no wedding
dress.
People really be feeling some type of way when you say something about courthouse marriage.
Is that what you dreamed? And I guess my thing is, as y'all say, unrealistic. Is that what you dreamed of as a little girl? Like I grew up and I watched some people. I'm gonna allow them to remain nameless get married, and I was like, this could not be what you dreamed of.
I mean, you got some people
they
like fuck it. Let's just get married. You know what I mean? Let's just go on and get married. Some people just do it in the spur of the moment.
I know my family gonna be mad, but the most hoodest wedding I ever been to was my uncle's wedding. It was the most hoodest.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Lord Jesus. It was in the backyard. No, matter of fact, it was in the side yard of my uncle's house.
Okay.
We just had regular clothes. I don't even think we were aware we were going to a wedding. It was like last minute.
It just happened. It was a surprise.
Yeah. And then my aunt, oh Lord, she sang. And we laughed. One of my cousins started laughing. We just couldn't stop. I don't even remember what she was singing, but it wasn't for her, Lord. She shouldn't have did it. God. And then it was just, it was the most hoodest wedding I had ever been. It was like a fish fry. It was just, I was like, you know what? They almost had it right. If they would have not actually like let us see them get married and just had the food, perfect wedding.
Well, that sounds like my uncle wedding almost. Him and his wife, they got married in the living room.
See, that's cool. Why not?
But is that what you do? I guess for me, it's
EMT on standby. Y'all had an EMT on standby. Who was near death?
Oh my God, that's a whole again.
Who was near death?
I have seen some things that made me say, this could not be what you dreamed of. I think we get so few moments in our life to actually execute our dream. As we get older, I think we evolve. So would I spend $100,000 on my wedding in this day and time? Probably not, because I have grown. I have matured. I do understand that there are so many other things that I could be doing with my money besides paying for a venue and food and caterers and wedding planners. So yes, I probably wouldn't spend $100,000, but I want a nice wedding. I don't think that's a lot
I
to
don't think
ask
that's
for.
no. I think
That's
there's
not a lot
to
to ask
for.
for, but I think we should be reasonable. Even though y'all say I'm unrealistic, I think we should be reasonable.
You still cheap. You're a Libra. You still cheap. You just unrealistic.
I'm cheap about certain things.
Unrealistically and cheap. Oh,
I'm only cheap. Yeah, I'm cheap about certain stuff. Because a lot of the stuff I could do myself, and I know party event planners. So would I go in and pay, $100,000 in modern day times, knowing what I know now? No. But had I got married at 25, I'd have been calling my daddy for them credit cards. Sorry.
But how I look at it is, when we're younger, we always imagine the wedding. As an adult, I think more about the marriage. So a wedding, I mean, I could take that money and literally put it to the marriage, and that money would do more good in the marriage than one day. Now, yeah, could you still do a wedding? Yeah. Do I want a wedding right now? Probably not. Like, I don't think I want like a whole wedding.
so
I would, things change, but right now, courthouse meeting and turn up.
Yeah, I'm like, is there anything wrong with eloping? You got a lot of people that elope.
I would not doing that in this lifetime with my parents being alive.
Your parents would also die or kill you if you probably did that.
Yeah, my dad probably wouldn't care. My mom would kind of be like salty, but that's not my thing, right? So my mom would, and again, I think that's what's important. I think when we talk about marriage, we talk about these things, we laugh and make light of it, but people who get a hold of these clips, I want people to understand you have to know who you are, right? So we're sitting here having these conversations, and I'm like, I've dialed back a bit, but going to the courthouse wouldn't be my idea of what I wanted to do to get married in this lifetime.
So in a traditional marriage, I mean, the parents supposed to pay for the wedding originally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why do the couples always end up coming out of money for the marriage? So I feel like if they're eloping, it shouldn't even matter if they're not paying for the wedding.
If they're eloping, if they're eloping, absolutely.
My father shouldn't feel no type of way at all. Like you,
I think, but it depends on how you were raised. It depends on how you were raised. For me, my parents know that's not who I am. We're very family oriented. When I have birthday parties, like my whole dang on family shows up.
Is your dad thinking about paying for your wedding?
He told me a few years ago, I think he thinks I aged out. That's what he said.
Well, damn.
Well, damn, man.
You have my dad will probably look at my boyfriend and be like, well, you got it, player. Like, you have to understand my dad.
This is your responsibility now.
You probably like you would have to meet my dad to get a clear understanding of.
I think I understand him.
Yeah, your dad sounds like he's funny.
Yeah,
he said that. He said, "Oh, so you ain't." Damn, you too?
He said we aged out. Damn. So you have to really understand my dad to understand the level.
Ask my dad, have I aged out?
Ask him, see what he says. If he's anything like my dad was like, yeah, y'all aged out. So he's gonna, and the other thing he likes to tell us, I ain't gonna be able to do it, player. I ain't gonna be able, I ain't got it. So it's but it's one of those situations. Like, I'm an adult. I'm willing to be reasonable. He gonna tap in for something. But at this point, my father is retired. So I think also people have to make logical decisions. What would it be like at the age? First of all, I'm old. Going to my dad going, oh, my wedding's going to cost $100,000. I need you to help me with $100,000 and you're retired. That's also selfish. It's right. That's selfish. So I think people need to be realistic about our expectations, honest about what we can afford, and then also realistic about what it is that we need.
Thank you. Needs and wants are some real big, different ass shit. And some of them needs, I'm saying a lot of stuff on women needs should be on their wants. Height should be on your want.
Yeah.
Color of man should be with your want, not your needs. Not your needs.
And I agree. And she says, my dad, his other thing is, you're a dreamer. You're such a dreamer. That's what he tells us. But he does. He tells us you're such a dreamer. You have
about getting married.
Everything. About everything. If I tell him something, he's like, if I say, hey, I want a new Lexus truck, and he'll ask me like about my money, and he'll be like, You're such a dreamer. Who's gonna pay for that? Keep dreaming. He tells us stuff. So we live in reality, right? So even though I'm unrealistic and it's funny and we laugh about it, in reality, I live in reality. And I think that as women, the one thing that I can side with men about is I do think that some of these women reach too far. And I think with African American men who do not speak up sometimes for themselves, that's what I'm saying. Know what you want, know what you're willing to tolerate, know what your boundaries are, know what your love language is. They love women sometimes so hard that they never say, hey, no, we can't do this. I think that's fair. I think, no, and we've had this conversation in my house, like, I'm not spending 40 grand on a wedding. I've had the conversation like AM said, let's go to the courthouse. I'll compromise something small, but I'm not spending $40,000 when we could be investing in a new property. So I think that when you're dealing with people that are being realistic with you, marriage, in my mind, is about give or take. Give and take. You got to give something to get something. Yeah. And if you're not willing to be flexible at all, and that's why I was saying with women saying, I don't want to give you none, but you want me to spend my money. Why should the man have to be in? And as women, like, same thing. Where are we going to meet the compromise? Because most men don't care about a wedding.
No, not at all.
They will marry you, as you say, on the side of the house and put the money in their pocket and keep moving.
Oh, no. But I was saying that was his wedding. That was my uncle. So, yeah, he definitely married her like that. I was surprised she accepted that offer.
I mean, you do whatever when it comes to love. It don't matter if you love that person.
Yeah.
It don't matter, man. If you truly love that person, it don't matter.
But how do you feel about it, Jeff? Do you want a wedding, or is it something you would do for your wife?
I mean, I would love to have a wedding, but I mean, it's either or with me, honestly.
So you're flexible?
Yeah, I'm flexible. Yeah. I like to be realistic. You know what I'm saying?
They ain't still married. They got married on the side of a fucking house at a fish fry. No.
They married? No. My uncle and his wife, they still married. That's married.
That's great. No, these people should never have gotten married.
I know a lot of those people too. And before we get out of here, I think for me, that's my cringeworthy story, y'all. I know people, I have male cousins too, right? 2 of them that my sister and I went to the wedding. And we sat next to each other and we said, oh, this ain't gonna work. This is not gonna work. And you sit there, like, we lean back and we look at each other and we talk and be like, so I've watched a lot of people get married that I'm like,
here's some information.
Oh, sorry. I've watched a lot of people get married that I'm like, I want to make sure I'm doing what's best for me for the long haul. Not for the glitz and the glamour, as you said, as we get older. For women who don't realize it's not about the wedding, right, as a whole. Yes, you want something nice or go to the courthouse, but what are you going to do once you get married? How are you going to sustain it? How are we supposed to cater to one person's wants, needs, desires, demands? Like, those are the things that I worry about. Like,
I think when both people are come together and they're both flexible, I think that that would be a beginning of an everlasting marriage, because they're both responsible, they're both frugal, and they're thinking smart with their money, and they want to be able to enjoy it and enjoy each other at the same time.
Yeah, I think, but that's also about being a partner. You know what? And that's, again, nothing wrong with how people get married if you found your true partner. It's just that sometimes people, like, some things be rushed, which is what I'm saying. That was a rushed wedding. It was a rushed decision, and that's why they're not together, because it wasn't meant to be. But you can marry someone like literally any kind of way, and that be your person, and y'all live happily ever after. Someone could spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a extravagant wedding with all their friends and family and anyone that ever met them in life,
and they hate each other.
They hate each other. Be divorced
every
2-3 months later.
Talking to each other like dogs. I know a couple people that's in questionable marriages. You know what I mean? Some of them they look arranged. You know what I mean?
But if that's what you agreed on,
Stockholm syndrome or something,
and that's true. Damn. Maybe some of these situations were agreed upon. Like, I don't knock them. I also think that in our day and time we know so much more, right? For some of us, I was explaining to my kids at school the other day, like the reality is I was telling them about being able to cook and clean, like managing. We were talking about in math, just simple understanding how to calculate your paycheck. As I told some of these women, you're not going to marry Prince Charming. No one is coming to save you. Okay. So, and these men, I asked the young men, I was like, how many of you want to get married at 18? They're like, I don't want to get married. I'm like, you need to know how to pay your bills. Everybody needs to learn how to be self-sufficient in the society that we live in, because the reality is we're getting, especially in our culture, we're getting married later and later if we choose to get married or to have a partnership, to have a union and a partnership. We're doing it later and later and later. So in that, I just think that everybody needs to be mindful that people need to stand on their own. And when we come together, we're actually coming together for a common cause.
Yeah.
And for me, marriage is simply, I can swipe your insurance card at this point. Because that's all. And when you die, I can have your stuff.
I can have your stuff.
Because literally, I don't got to fight with your Mexican. I ain't got to go to court. Like, that's all that it means. What was so funny? Did I miss something?
No, about you.
About what you said, it's funny. How you put it, it's true.
That's real.
But it's funny as hell.
Man, working at my job, man, people be thinking that they can have something that don't belong to you.
When you die, it's mine. Like, damn, okay.
That's all it means.
That's all it means.
That's all. I mean,
it's a sheet of paper that give me rights to all your shit.
That's it.
Well, now I ain't at that. All your shit and half of your shit if you decide you don't want to be with me.
So I just think we need to make wise decisions, because if I love you and I'm with you and we're sharing a home and we're sharing a bank account, we are basically forced in this society, right, to combine assets to survive. If you live in California, you probably need a husband or a wife or a roommate. You may need 5 roommates.
If you living in certain parts of Dallas, you need a spouse or a roommate.
Well, I live in a city, too, where you can't get a house for under $300,000 now. So it's real. Like, I just feel like that's the reason why people get married. People who used to get married to split bills. Like, as you say, if your rent $2,200 in an apartment, you may need a roommate. You may need a boyfriend that's going to help you pay them bills. So I just think that's all that it comes down to when you switch over from fiance or to husband or wife and whatever. Y'all know what I'm saying.
You got people that's in relationships right now because of bills. They can't afford to go and get their own shit right now. So they living with each other because these bills are high. That's why they with each other right now.
People living with their exes.
I'm a roommate, right? Me and my ex, we roommates. What the fuck? What you mean, roommates? Get out of here with that.
I mean, and that's reality. My sister said something that does make sense too. Like I said, save that money for a marriage counselor. Those are things that in our community we don't do. Sometimes, and I just think people go get married to go get a divorce when you loved them before.
Go get help.
Happened? Yeah,
right, go get help.
What happened? What is it that we're not navigating in this situation before we jumped into this marriage? So it's just something to think about for those of you who want to get married. Do your research. Do your research on your person. Do your research on yourself. Stop forgetting about self. Because usually we are the key ingredients of why things fail. Because we don't know that we are toxic. We don't know that we are damaged. We don't know.
Check yourself.
Like y'all say, unrealistic. You can't ask people. Ladies, you can't ask people to buy you Birkin bags at $10,000. And you can't buy a $250 Jordan tennis shoes.
First of all, you ain't about to buy, $10,000 purse if you living in an apartment.
You feel me? If a chick,
but they do it all the time.
She worried about a Birkin bag. Her priorities is messed up, man.
Her credit probably messed up too.
Ain't it? Yeah, I believe it.
So those are things that we have to look at before people start dating them. So you may want to check where you lay in your head, even in the apartment complex, because that's her lifestyle. So don't go upgrader. From the West Dallas projects to the penthouse downtown.
They be living in them all bills paid. All bills paid, be coming out like they really doing something whole time. They living
All
off
bills
their
are paid.
man's expenses.
Right.
Yeah, right. Pay $900 for everything. A month.
everything.
And the rest of us are
they cut your
struggling.
heat,
The
but they
rest of
cut
us
your heat.
struggling.
But they cut your heat on when they feel like it, though. I think. I don't think they get no say so with that heat.
For real?
Yeah, I think so. Some of them they govern that heat.
Well, they better govern themselves accordingly and learn how to take care of themselves. And that's what everybody needs to understand. Marriage is just to bring it all together full circle. And you have them health insurance benefits. If you married a military man, you have his benefits for life.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's a game of
Life.
It's the
benefits
game.
of life, and you need to make sure you make it make sense to you. Okay, so that's all I got for tonight. This is your girl Candy K. Lynn.
AM.
Last page.
Until next week, you guys. Good night.
Peace.